Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have an interview with George Sellwood. Hello, George.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Sure. So I am George Sellwood. I'm from Wellington, New Zealand, and I've been in Poland since February, and I'm here teaching English in this school and other schools in Żywiec.
Okay, so let's start the interview with the first question. Was the level of English in Polish schools surprising for you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, of course, I knew that everyone was learning English, but the high level of English was quite surprising, especially in this school. They have you have quite a high level of English, which is great, and also other schools around Żywiec. So yeah, it was surprising.
Okay, besides you were traveling a lot around Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and how was the level of English in the other countries in Europe?
So, I mean, I was mostly a tourist in other countries, like, I only visited very briefly, whereas here I've stayed for quite a while. So I was mostly in places where they spoke a lot of English because I was a tourist. But in Żywiec, not many people speak English, which was more of a challenge, but in Warszawa, Krakow, more people speak English, so there's more English there.
Okay, let's go to the second question. Why did you choose Poland as the country of your voluntary work?
So when I was choosing the country that I wanted to go to, there were quite a few different options of places that I could go, and originally I thought I would go to Africa, because I wanted somewhere that was a challenge, but my parents and my friends sort of persuaded me not to, and I decided it would be best maybe to come to Europe, and Poland was a good option because it's quite central, lots of travel opportunities. I thought it would be a good option. Yeah.
Okay, so what sort of danger you were aware in Africa?
So this is the normal you hear about diseases and other safety concerns, but I think it would have been okay. I have some friends that are there now and they're having a great time, but of course I'm still happy that I chose Poland.
Okay, that's fine. And now, what are the three biggest differences between Polish and New Zealand schools?
So I think the biggest difference is how Polish schools are separated into the high schools are separated into different learning areas. Like this one is an academic school, and then like Mechanic is more of a hands-on school. Whereas in New Zealand, everybody just goes to the same high school. So yeah, and in the Polish schools, all the classes are separated into different like specialized learning paths. Whereas in New Zealand, everyone has their own timetable, and you go to different classes, and you have a different class every time, and you choose your subjects.
Okay, so what do you think? Which system of education is better? This one in the Poland or this one in the New Zealand?
It's a difficult question because both are quite different. In Poland, like I think you work harder. Certainly, you have to do more learning, whereas in New Zealand it's more relaxed. But I think New Zealand's system is maybe a bit better.
All right, George. Which stereotypes about Poland turn out to be true, and which one turn out to be wrong?
To be honest, before I came to Poland, I didn't really know that much about Poland, and I hadn't really heard many stereotypes. I'd heard history of Poland, of course, but I didn't really know much before coming here. So it was all very new and surprising to me.
I know you've been going to the foundation once a week, and did you find that experience beneficial or something?
Yes, so I went there, every Tuesday, and that was really, really cool to go there. It was really good to see what it's like to be teaching in like a very different school to normal schools. I had a great time there. It was really cool.
And maybe what's the most important thing in your view, of course, which you learned there?
So I learned that one, it's very hard to teach and control like these disabled people, but it was really beneficial, and also learned a lot of like empathy sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. That's cool. Okay, George, let's go to the next question. How quickly did you start missing your home?
So of course, I missed it all the time, but I don't think I was very homesick much at all. Of course, I miss my friends and family, but it's good to be away from home and experience new things. Of course, it will be very good to go back home.
And of course, there is another advantage that you met a lot of people. And
Yeah.
did you find that interesting to meet that much people in just 1 year?
Definitely. I've met many people, and it's been amazing. Very cool. Yeah.
George, can I ask you what's the most difficult word in Polish language? Would you know?
So I mean, I can say like Książeczkiewicz, and some other words, but I think probably the hardest word that I've had to learn is actually 3, which is
3. You mean the number, right?
number 3. Yeah.
3.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, you can't pronounce it, right?
Yeah, but it's very difficult. It's a very strange word. Yeah. I don't know. For an English speaker, I think it was quite difficult word.
Okay, so what surprised you the most in Polish culture or habits?
I think religion was certainly a very big surprise. In New Zealand, religion is not such a big thing as in Poland, and of course I knew that Poland was religious, but I didn't realize it was such a big thing. Yeah, so it was quite surprising, and also a lot of. I feel that Polish people are a lot more hardworking than people in New Zealand. Yeah.
Do you think that the fact that the religion has that much influence on the community is good for country or not at all?
I think there are good and bad things about it. I would say. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, George, let's go with the last question. Can you compare Wellington to Warszawa, and which city did you enjoy more, and of course why?
I mean, of course, I love Wellington more. It's my home. But they're quite different cities. Warszawa is much older. There's a lot more history and infrastructure, and it's quite a different city. Whereas Wellington is quite young. And Wellington is beside the sea as well, so it has a different vibe to it. So I love it, yeah. But Warszawa is also very nice. Yeah.
Alright, George, maybe you can tell me something about the McDonald's, because I'm quite curious about how it looks in New Zealand, because I heard that the McDonald's is different in every country, so...
Yeah, I think in Poland it's all the same, like around Europe, I think they're all pretty similar. But they are different to in New Zealand. In New Zealand they're not as tidy and clean. They're a bit, but they're still the most popular.
And so summary, you think that the McDonald's in Europe is basically better than the McDonald's in New Zealand, or it is not?
It's different. In New Zealand we have frozen Cokes, which are like is Coke in a cup and it's frozen, and you drink it.
No, you do like
and
it?
you don't have it. Yeah, and it's only $1.
Oh,
$1. So
that's cheap.
That's the only good thing. That's
the only cheap thing.
That's the only cheap thing. Yeah, everything else.
Well,
is
doesn't like
very
so
expensive.
far in Europe, or at least in Poland, the McDonald's is quite cheap.
Yes.
And
In Poland it's very cheap, which is great.
maybe how about the supermarkets, shops, or etc., something like that? Have you heard about Biedronka before you came to the Poland?
No,
of course no. Maybe a little Tesco, Carrefour, something like that.
I heard of Tesco.
You heard
I
of?
think.
Yeah, but have you seen it?
There's, I don't know. Maybe I saw it when I went to America, but I don't think. There's no Tesco or Lidl or anything in New Zealand.
Literally in New Zealand, you just have your own shops that are originally only in the New Zealand.
Yeah,
or?
in New Zealand there are there are like two companies. One is Australian, and
Oh.
then the other is New Zealand. So there are probably 4 different supermarket chains in New
Yeah,
Zealand.
so that's good for your economy because you have only your own native shops and all
Yeah,
profit goes to your country.
yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe there is something you want to ask me about the Poland?
What's your favorite Polish food?
Favorite Polish food? I would say the pierogi.
Yes,
Uh,
mine too. Yeah.
Is mine too, yours too?
Mhm.
Which stuffing you enjoy the most?
Meat.
Meat.
It's the best.
Okay, maybe how about soup? Polish national soup?
I like rosu.
Like roast, yeah. What soups have you eaten?
I don't know. I don't know
You don't
which
know.
ones they are. I
A
mean,
lot of them, right?
Yeah, a lot of them, of course.
And maybe what was the most delicious thing that you have eaten during your trip around Europe? It doesn't matter in which country.
When I went to Spain, there was a market of La Rambla in Barcelona,
Uh-huh.
and they had this juice, which was really, really
Oh,
amazing.
fresh juices made in from fruits, right?
Yeah,
That's cool,
exactly.
and they are almost really cheap.
Yeah,
I
very
think.
cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you eaten tapas when you
Yeah,
were?
we had
yeah.
tapas. Yeah.
Tapas is cool too, in my opinion.
was
I
good.
enjoyed it very well when
Yeah,
I
it
was in Spain.
Mhm.
Okay, George. So thank you for everything, and bye.
All right. Bye.
See ya.